Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Jocelyn Hertwitini. I am the Operation Analyst for HSRI for Employers. During this webinar, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them using the WebEx chat function, or you can also visit us on Twitter and ask your questions using hashtag HSRI for Employers. Now, let's get started. So to give you guys a quick overview of who we are and what makes us so successful is that we are the exclusive way to offer clients options from multiple insurance companies across all metal levels. Clients are able to customize a plan that works for them, and best of all, there are no eligibility requirements. One of the benefits that we offer is a defined contribution model. It allows clients to set their healthcare budget while employees choose a plan that works for them. We also offer an extended line of ancillary products, which we will be sharing with you through our Ancillary webinar month. So to get our Ancillary webinar month started, we are pleased to welcome Gordy Jones and TJ Hannon from Colonial Life to give us more information. So please feel free to take over.
Great. Well, hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on today's webinar. We really appreciate it. Again, this is TJ Hannon. I'm here with Gordy Jones, and we are with Colonial Life, and what I always like to tell our brokers is that we are highly specialized and that all that we do is we work with brokers to put together what we think are going to be very well thought out, well supported, successful, and hopefully lucrative supplemental insurance programs for you and your customers. Our ultimate goal is to help you bring more value and drive more revenue for you and your agency, and this is all that we do. So we're fortunate that we manage the nation's largest BGA, broker general agency for Colonial Life. And in our market, we've been doing this for 18 years. In terms of today's topics, we have several topics that we want to share with you today, and we have some very specific products that we want to kind of give some education around. So we're going to spend some time talking to you about our supplemental health insurance portfolio. So Colonial Life does have a full portfolio of voluntary products, but the ones in particular that we want to talk to you about today are accident insurance, critical illness insurance, medical bridge insurance, and a complementary value add, which we call the Well Card. Just to spend a little bit of time as to who Colonial Life is, we think that this is important for you to know, of course, as you're a broker out there in the marketplace, you want to make sure that you're representing quality carriers. So what I always like to tell our customers and brokers is what makes Colonial Life different. One, this is all that we do. You have a lot of carriers that are getting into the supplemental insurance space, right? You see medical carriers getting into it. You see all sorts of ancillary carriers that are trying to get into it. What I always like to point out to our carriers, this is all that Colonial Life does, and I think as a result, I think that they're really, really good at it. They are the nation's second largest supplemental insurer. They are part of the Unum Group, which is the nation's or the country's world's largest disability carrier. And we provide these programs to over 75,000 businesses across the country and have over 3 million policyholders in force. So let's start taking a deep dive into some of the products that we offer. So just to preface the products before we start going through them in more detail, what I always like to say to our customers is that every product that we offer is typically paid for on a voluntary basis. However, we are starting to see occasional situations where employers will help fund it, either through a defined contribution approach or some sort of cost share with the employees. But what I also like to say is that every product that we speak to, every product that we offer speaks to this topic of income replacement and income protection, which we think is a very empathetic message. And then lastly, we think that when these programs are done the right way with the right carrier and the right message, we do think that this will have a positive impact on things like recruitment, retention, employee satisfaction, which I think are really important in today's economy where good health is hard to find and good employees are hard to keep. So you look at the audience for these programs in partnership with HSRI, it's typically targeted for the small to mid-sized market. I think the nice thing about targeting that type of case size is that from their perspective, it gives them kind of the look and feel of a big company benefit program because they now make more options available to their employees. So let's start first with the accident benefit. So the accident benefit is quickly becoming one of the fastest growing and most popular voluntary benefits out there in the marketplace. Why? Because, of course, we have increased deductibles and co-pays on our health insurance. So essentially what accident insurance does is it pays employees or the policyholder a cash benefit if they get hurt. They can get coverage for themselves. They can get coverage for their family members. It's truly an indemnity product, so the carrier doesn't come back and say, hey, what is the medical carrier covering, what aren't they covering? So it's a true supplement. So it provides employees income during a time that they might need it the most when they get hurt and they start incurring some expenses, and employees can do whatever they want to with that cash benefit. It's an issue age product, so the value there is that premiums do not increase with age, and accident insurance is always a portable benefit as well too. The last point here is that the average time to process an accident claim is less than 7 days, which we think is really important to note because, of course, when someone gets hurt, they incur a claim, they want to make sure that their claim is going to be paid in a timely fashion, and it is nice to see a turnaround time of less than 7 days. We want to break out for you just a real simple, and we actually share this, all the slides you see, we share these with our customers as well too. Here's a real nice, easy to understand, easy to follow example of how an accident policy could be beneficial to a policyholder. So here we are, we've got Jane or Johnny homeowner, they're home cleaning the gutters, they fall from the ladder and break their leg. As you can see, our course can incur all sorts of treatment, and there's a specific indemnity benefit that corresponds with each of those types of treatments. So, for example, this person is going to receive $125 for ER treatment, $150 for follow-up visits, $100 because of crutches. There's a broken bone benefit. They're also going to receive some funds that can go towards occupational physical therapy, an X-ray benefit. So for this particular example, this person broke their leg. Depending on the severity of it, they're going to get a check for anywhere between $1,480 and up to $2,300. And again, that gets paid directly to the policyholder. That way they can use it towards whatever they would like to, whether it's time off from work, taking care of a family member, direct or indirect medical expenses. Looking at the bottom here, as you can see, we think it's a very affordable benefit. So this is for the individual chassis accident benefit for this specific level of coverage. You're looking at $4.88 a week for an employee-only family and upwards of $9.34 a week for a family plan. So very affordable. What we typically find, this is a very highly participated benefit. Usually on average, 40 to 60% of employees will enroll in any one of these benefits if they take the time to get educated on this topic of supplemental insurance. Moving on to critical illness coverage. Critical illness coverage has quickly become also one of the fastest growing and most popular benefits out there in the marketplace, offered typically on a voluntary basis. Why? We're kind of in a good news, bad news situation right now in terms of statistics. Bad news is you look at things like what critical illness covers. It covers things like heart attack, stroke, cancer, some real serious things. The bad news is statistics are at an all-time high with these types of illnesses. The good news is that survival rates are at an all-time high because of these with these illnesses, because of modern medicine and technology. So, but unfortunately, what it is doing is it's leaving people. It can oftentimes leave people in a state of financial despair when they incur these types of illnesses. So, critical illness, kind of like life insurance, it's purchased on an incremental basis. So the employee simply, or the policyholder simply picks the amount of coverage that they're comfortable with, or that's also affordable for them, and then the coverage from day one. So it does include a $50 wellness benefit. So we're all about wellness nowadays, and we want to encourage people to take proactive approaches to their health care. So it does have a $50 wellness benefit, which we kind of give people a financial reward for taking care of their health. And looking at the average processing time is about 17 days with a critical illness policy. So again, an easy to understand example of how it works. We've got Joan here. Joan has a $10,000 critical illness benefit. She has her spouse who's then covered at a $5,000 benefit. Joan has her policy for 3 months. She's unfortunately diagnosed with cancer. Then she starts going through all sorts of treatments such as radiation, chemotherapy, et cetera. Well, how did it benefit Joan? Once her diagnosis was verified by Colonial from her doctor, Joan receives a check for $10,000, and it's a tax-free benefit. Again, the process takes 17 days to complete on average. And since her family had to take some time off from work to help out, that money was critical to their finances. So you look at the cost of this benefit down at the bottom for this particular person. Again, it is based on age and tobacco use, very similar to life insurance. But a $10,000 benefit for a 45-year-old person is $6.62 per week for the coverage her and her spouse. So again, it can be very customized in terms of the benefit amount and the cost as well too. What we're also seeing with critical illness is this is kind of taking over cancer insurance. Cancer insurance has been very popular in the state of Rhode Island for many, many years. and we are seeing that critical illness is kind of taking it over. Typically, a lot of brokers and employers find that from a needs-based perspective, this seems to be a little bit of a better fit for the policyholder in the sense that it's covering more than just cancer. It's covering up to 9 catastrophic illnesses. And last, the last benefit that we wanted to spend some time talking to you about is what's called medical bridge coverage. So medical bridge has also, of course, become a very popular benefit over the last few years. Why? Because of increased out-of-pocket expenses. So what we typically find that a medical bridge policy is creating a win-win for both the employer and the employee. From an employer's perspective, when they start increasing deductibles and copays, we find that they have a little bit of a messaging issue on their hands. So from the employee's perspective, they have a bit of a financial exposure issue on their hands. So this kind of takes care of both those messages, if you will, by giving people the opportunity of buying an insurance product that will help really help them hedge against their financial exposure around things like hospitalization, outpatient surgeries, and diagnostic procedures. So with this type of product, we do typically want to have a conversation with you and get understanding as to what the underlying plan design looks like on the medical plan. And then this product there is a sense of customization available where we can pick and choose either a high or a low option. And again, we'll work with you to make sure that we have the right level in there for your particular customer. It also has a wellness benefit as well of $50. Children are covered to the age of 26, and rates are based on age and tier. Here's how it works. Just another example. We have Bill, 48 years old, enrolled in the medical bridge plan. He's admitted to the hospital for over 20 hours, given an MRI, released the next day. You can see how Bill benefited from his coverage where he fills out a claim form. He can do it online. He can do it via paper. And he receives $1,000 for the hospital admission, $500 for the MRI, and an additional $1,000 for the outpatient surgery. And again, that's paid directly to Bill and his family, regardless of what their out-of-pocket expenses were. And for this particular person, for Bill, as a 48-year-old, to cover him and his spouse, it's $1,379 weekly. So we find that this has been very, very helpful for employers that have already gone to a high-deductible health plan or they're going to one. It's been a very valuable benefit. The last benefit that we want to chat with you about is a non-insurance benefit. So again, we work with you to put together the right products that you think that your employees need on a voluntary basis. And this is something that's offered alongside of our insurance benefits. So I want to be clear, the employees do not have to buy insurance to take advantage of what's called the well card. What the well card is as we meet with each employee, everyone's going to receive a complimentary well card, and everyone will get educated on voluntary benefits. And again, they don't have to buy insurance to get up to enroll in this. It's a health and wellness discount card. So think about it kind of like a AAA card, but for health and wellness related things. It provides deep and meaningful point-of-service discounts for everything from prescriptions to vision care and LASIK can get up to 50% off of frames, eye care, lenses, discounts on hearing aids, dental discounts. So if we have a voluntary dental program and maybe they hit their maximums or maybe it doesn't cover orthodontia, it tapped into the Dentamax network, so they get up to huge, really significant discounts on dental work. Lab savings, there is telemedicine built into it as well too. There's also lifestyle and vacation discounts as well. So it's a great, great benefit for small to mid-sized employers, especially in those types of customer sizes where they might have some exposure.
Okay, well, thank you so much, TJ and Gordy.
Thank you.
I am not seeing any questions on the chat line, but if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us, and we will be more than happy to assist you with those. For those of you, if you're already certified with HSRI for employers and want to know more about how to move forward with Colonial Life, please contact your business engagement specialist. However, if you're not certified with us, but you do want to get certified or you want to know more about Colonial and how to move forward, just contact me. Once again, my name is Jocelyn Hard-Gutini. My contact information is on the screen. And as mentioned earlier, we are in the beginning of Ancillary webinar month. So our next webinar will be on VSP Vision Insurance, so make sure to join us on December 5th at noon. And lastly, we love to hear your feedback. So if you have any topics that you'd like to know more about, please let us know, and we'll make sure to make it happen. Once again, thank you for joining, and thank you, Steve and Gordy, for joining us today. Have a great day.